Going on this time of year, and tomorrow the entire family is out for a day of fun. Invited to do so, City of New Orleans Congressman Troy A. They're hosting an inaugural Family Fun Day. Got the congressman here this morning to talk to us all about it. Good morning to you, good sir.
Good morning,
Good
Brandon.
to see
Happy
you.
to be with you on this early morning.
Yes, sir. And what's great about all of this Family Fun Day is that it's free, but it's also wide-ranging in terms of what's offered.
Yeah, you know, we know that during this challenge times with budget cuts and services being cut back, it's important to send some hope to the people. And so what we're doing at the Treme Center from 10 to 1 tomorrow is an old-fashioned family fun day. Healthcare screenings, job preparedness, gun violence prevention, free food, free music, coming together to uplift our community while recognizing that there are resources that our community needs, so we're bringing it to them.
Took a lot of people to get this together.
A lot of great partners. We have a number of nonprofits, the City of New Orleans, so many good agencies and nonprofits. List far too long to list, but come on out. You get to meet some really great people who are doing some really great things in the community. Again, demonstrative of the fact that we love our community and we're bringing the resources to you.
You mentioned earlier just about some of the concerns that we're seeing and potential cuts to make their way down the pipeline here, in part for one of the reasons behind this. So before we move on to talk about some of the more pressing issues legislatively going on, what are specifically some of the offerings tomorrow that just would offer people some
some of the things that are really going to be good. So you can come and get health screenings.
Yeah.
Opportunity to make sure, because we know that preventive care is a lot cheaper than curative care. So have your blood pressure checked. Talk about those things that will keep us healthy. Have discussions about how we can access 988, which is a 24-hour free manned phone line that you can call if you have mental health issues, if you're considering suicide. These resources, oftentimes, people that need them most don't know about them. So we want to take advantage of this opportunity to come. We'll have music, we'll have food, we'll have entertainment, we'll have people, something for the whole family. And the whole idea, doing it in the Treme Center, such a historic, rich community that will bring people together to take advantage of keeping yourself healthy. Accessing resources, whether it's the federal, state, or local government, is key to making sure we serve our people better.
And considering that it is for the whole family, there are ways to approach that from multiple ways along the generational line to be embraced tomorrow.
Absolutely. And with the culture of Treme being so significant and being right in the middle of the city, we hope to draw from communities all around. And I can't emphasize enough, there's absolutely no charge. Free food, free music, free screenings, free health care, free information to talk to a myriad of agencies that provide resources for the people in almost every imaginable part, mind, body, and soul.
Very much so necessary, and at these times it comes amid some significant potential cuts to federal benefits here, including Medicaid. There is legislation that is currently being debated now by the Senate and going back and forth over whether those potential cuts to Medicaid should be greater. I'm curious as to where your thoughts are right here on where we should go forward with these cuts potentially pending.
I think this, what's been dubbed the big, beautiful bill, quite frankly, is a big, ugly bill. This bill threatens to cut people from the Medicaid rolls. This bill threatens to cut deeply into Louisiana, where it will not only impact our veterans, it'll impact people living with disabilities, it'll impact SNAP benefits. $880 billion cut from Medicaid will be devastating to our hospital systems, devastating to people who need it most. It will most likely shut down rural hospitals. It's one of those issues that, Brandon, it's not Republican or Democrat. It's bad for Louisiana and it's bad for America.
And we are also seeing, I mean, one of the reasons why there has been some resistance into full passage here is because there is some resentment with it, some disagreement within the Republican Party over the extent to which these cuts should be made, whether this is necessary here. But when you're talking about such a significant majority in Congress, for instance, and you know the razor-thin majority there in the Senate, how do you as a Democrat challenge that?
Well, we challenge it with facts. You know, I serve on Energy and Commerce. We were in committee for 27 hours, around the clock, bringing people from Louisiana and other parts of the country, putting a name and a face together. So these are not just numbers on a spreadsheet, but human beings, people that will suffer people living with disabilities who require Medicaid just to care for their loved ones, our senior citizens living in nursing facilities or assisted living facilities who desperately need Medicaid. In Louisiana, the numbers are staggering about how many people, nearly 50% of everyone in Louisiana, in some way, shape, or form or fashion, has benefited from Medicaid. Rural hospitals that, under the Medicaid expansion that was done when then John Bel Edwards was governor and I was a member of the state Senate, instantly started opening rural hospitals again. The reverse will also be true. If you make these drastic cuts, hospitals will have to close. They simply won't have the benefits. Our state will have a tremendous hole in their budget because they won't be able to sustain themselves without federal help. Now is not the time. We cannot cut back on Medicaid. People of all backgrounds, all races, all zip codes, all parties depend on it.
And I know they're giving me a wrap now, but real quick, I do want to ask you, President Donald Trump saying he's giving himself 2 weeks to decide whether the U.S. should strike Iran's nuclear sites, hoping, he says, for diplomacy to run its course here. Where are your thoughts on all of this?
Listen, whenever we threaten to send our young men and women to war, we should be very thoughtful. We should be very careful. This is not a decision to be made with bravado. This is not a decision to be made being boastful or pumping fist. We should always try peace. We should always try diplomacy. And war is something that needs to be carefully discussed. And under the separation of powers, United States Congress is the only entity that can declare war. I would hope that this president, I know as a member of Congress, we must be very thoughtful and be careful before we send our young men and women off to war.
And not potentially see a potential Iraq situation where the declaration of war is kind of sidestepped, but the Congress does.
Well, we know that we've seen this callous disregard for the rule of law and the United States Constitution. And by all means, everyone in every party should be concerned when our checks and balances are being checked and out of balance. Rule of law matters. And the framers of the U.S. Constitution set checks and balances for a purpose, and we have to maintain that.
Are you worried that the U.S. will strike without congressional oversight?
I am. Yeah. I am concerned. I'm concerned because this administration has proven that the Constitution and the rule of law is not as important as it should be. And I will tell you that it is. That's why we have checks and balances, so no one part of this tripod gets too far ahead of the other. We've got three separate but co-equal branches of government, the Congress, which is the legislative, president, executive, and the judiciary. And we have to make sure they're in balance. But when you have a president that boasts that he controls them all, we have a constitutional crisis, and the American people deserve better.
All right, Congressman Troy A, we do thank you for your time this morning, sir, and best wishes with Family Fun Day, which again is tomorrow. Gets started at 10, wraps up at 1 over at the Treme Recreation Center. We have a link where you can register to attend on our website, WWL.